Why it's not?
I need to make our intro longer.
There.
What is up, everybody? I'm coming at you from a totally different angle right now because I've just set up my workshop here. My studio is finally back in action. Very excited for that. But first and foremost, sharing is caring. So please go ahead and share this live. Let's see here. While I try to set up my headphones.
Do it now.
So our special guest for tonight is Ricky Hellard is joining us again, and it's just going to be a free-for-all tonight, so whatever happens.
Oh, there you go. Wait, what?
What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing good!
Hell yeah. I need some of whatever you got, bro.
Right? All right, you guys talk. I got to fix... I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, you're coming at everybody from a different angle. You got to keep them on their twinkle toes.
That's right.
See what I did there?
So what is the first name? Dormammu? Dormammu?
I'm going to call him Dormumu.
Dormumu?
Dormammu.
Dormammu Twinkle Toes. Okay.
Dormammu. Mamu's kind of intimidating.
Dormammu.
I like that.
All right, so now let's go ahead. Sharing is caring, folks, so share the feed. I think I already said that, but I'm going to do that right now myself.
I did it myself. Shared it on my timeline.
So, Ricky, you have a big move coming up.
Yep. Can't wait. Relocating. I'm going to keep everybody on their twinkle toes. They'll find out if they stay tuned.
Okay, so you don't want to tell them where you're going yet?
Not the location, but it's huge. It's huge.
It is.
I'm excited.
Now I can hear
I'm
everybody.
very excited.
So we just have to keep talking so he can hear.
Yeah. Now he knows what it's like.
I can hear you guys now. I finally got him working.
Huh?
I forgot. That's right. You're deaf.
Yeah, dude. Listen, what Amazon did to me. So I had to. Yeah. Pretty much. One of my hearing aids broke. So I'm down to one now. So I had to order another set of hearing aids, right? I'm supposed to get overnight shipping.
Yeah.
Never came. Then it was out for delivery that morning. Then it said that they attempted to deliver the package. We had somebody home. There was no Amazon truck or anything. Yeah. So now I have to deal with that. I canceled it. I was like, nope. So I'm deaf for a little bit. Be all right, though.
I didn't realize you were deaf.
Yeah, I'm deaf and high pitch. As a matter of fact, that's how I knew Michael was good people when he first met me. He goes, "Are you deaf?"
Oh no!
You knew?
I was like, yes.
I did. I totally did.
Yeah. Josh's face went. I'm like, it's good. I can take a joke.
True.
I know.
We're just throwing up gang signs at that point.
Right?
Death threats.
What up, blood?
So, Mike, do you know how to sign other than that?
That's my favorite sign language.
I find my name all the time.
Well, in sign language.
In sign what?
Never mind. I was asking, do you know how to do sign language?
What do you mean?
For deaf people.
What's going on, everybody?
What up, Ricky?
What up, Michael? And you know what's sad? I'm actually deaf.
He said,
Like,
"What's
for
up
those
to
of you
me?"
that
See,
don't think I am, there's a hearing aid right there. Um, you figured I'd
I see
know
it.
American Sign Language, but I don't.
You
So,
don't.
so when COVID hit, I learned
Too
as a young
legit
kid because I got
to
bullied.
quit.
Yeah, yeah, too legit to quit. Uh, I relied heavily on reading lips, and when COVID hit and everybody was wearing masks, oh man, I
Yeah.
was over.
Yep.
And then you have those
Yeah,
people
right.
that don't talk. They don't talk loud. They talk like this. So I'm sitting there going,
They,
huh?
they
Huh?
mumble. Yes.
Huh? Huh? And they were getting mad. I'm
Yeah,
like, I should be the one mad at you.
Well, and that's where for
right.
me is I have a hard time on the
Freaking
like the deep
mumblers.
baritone.
Mhm.
That I can't hear that, and then my husband will sit there, and I read lips as well, and he'll start talking, and then he gets lower and lower. Then he turns the radio up, and I'm like, how am I supposed to hear what you're saying when you're looking
Right,
away and mumbling?
right. And that was
Joe,
like,
Brian, Derek, what up, everybody?
what's going on? How's everybody doing? But yeah, no, being
I'm
deaf's
glad you're
been a
on
struggle.
today. We're going to talk about some pretty cool stuff.
Cool.
So,
I'm all about cool
how do you
stuff.
know if a REM pod goes off?
Beep. I don't, bro. So
The
that's the
light.
funny thing. That is exactly what it is. And like I'm deaf and high pitch. That's the thing with me. So for the longest, I liked REM pods because ooh, bright, shiny. I never knew what they truly sounded like till I started wearing hearing aids while I investigate. But that's where a lot of people, couldn't believe like my abilities, which is clear audience. I hear them. I hear the spirit. I hear them talking. And my sister, especially at the beginning, like, you're deaf, you can't hear. There's nobody there. And then you go back and you play it, and it's just like, holy crap, there's like legit voices here. So
Yep.
I'm not sure if I'm hearing them on some sort of
So,
special frequency, but it's always there.
that's actually pretty cool. It does a ghost, like when they talk, do you hear like their accent, or
Mhm.
do they have like like range, like like
Yeah.
excited, cautionary, or is it all like hello Ricky?
Monotone.
Yeah, I mean, it can be like that. I've heard it like that, and then,
Yeah,
like you said, it's different every time. Like I think I'll hear them say one thing, like I'll hear definite syllables, but it's more like muffled in a way.
it
But then
does,
just,
buddy.
yep, you love them worm pods, don't you, Mikey?
Love them, especially with the big antennas.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Gotta love a big antenna to grab, right? But
Yeah,
So James says his REM pods go off around you all the time, Mike.
I know.
but the crazy thing is, like, there's this one incident that I actually had the video of when we were at
Yeah,
Indiana State Sanatorium. Me and Brittany were in the tunnel. I heard an actual disembodied voice, but at the time when I heard it, it sounded like it said two syllables. But we only captured one voice, and it says, "Hey."
Oh wow.
oh,
So
but you
maybe
heard
you're
So
two
hearing the echo.
syllables.
I heard two syllables. Yeah.
Wow,
Yep. So I don't know if it's
that's
coming
pretty
in on
wild.
like a special frequency, but I don't
Well,
know.
that was actually one of the things I wanted to talk about. We're going to get a little, folks, I'm not going to lie to you. This is going to get a little intense, but real conversation here, real talk. Before we do
No
that,
cap.
no cap. Ricky, do you drink?
I can't tonight because I had pain medicine, but yes, I do.
Oh, okay.
Every now and then, drink
Oh,
socially.
is that because of the tooth?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh shit. What did you have
yeah.
done anyway?
So I had a root canal done yesterday, which isn't the problem, surprisingly. Not no pain at all because they did a really weird procedure. I forgot what they call it, but they draw your blood, they spin your little vial of blood, they pull the plasma and the white blood cells, and they're able to make it into like it makes this paste, and then they put it on your wound, and it's absolutely no pain. It's crazy, and it
Wow.
speeds up healing for like 70%. So
Mike,
other
did
than
you
that,
break
then they
it?
had to go disinfect my gums. So they did a deep cleaning and then put the antibiotics in it because I have hereditary periodontic gum disease, sadly.
So you got stink ass white trash breath.
Yes, bro. Right now, it's terrible. We're talking Breaking Bad meth lab level, bro.
Oh
Like,
no.
Oh no. Look, this just happened, dudes.
Did you break it?
Yeah,
Wow, I thought I
it came
heard something.
off
Oh no!
in the bottle, and now it's stuck in there. So I will not be partaking in that. I'm gonna have to go get another bottle.
Oh,
I'm gonna
that's
figure that
not
one
That
out.
good.
damn fly kept setting off Derek's REM pod last night at Edinburgh Manor.
Oh
Hey,
no!
at least you tried to debunk it. That's awesome. Damn
I've
fly.
never heard of a fly setting off a REM pod. That's funny.
Yeah.
And then hi, Christy.
What's blinking?
What's going on, everybody? What's up, Annie? Don't
Annie
worry,
is
Michael is
late
late
as always,
too.
but she's here.
Okay, I'm here.
Brian.
I know. I can't believe the cork is literally stuck in there now. So I'm gonna have to get like a corkscrew, maybe. But it's literally just crumbling.
Oh, that's not good.
Oh, that's a sign, bro. It's like, don't drink me.
Yeah. Wah, wah, wah.
I still have to finish
All right.
this right here.
Oh snap! That's the good stuff too.
Dude,
Sailor
it's
Jerry's.
so good. Yeah, it's so good.
What is that?
About
It's
4 years old. Tattoo.
And that,
rum.
what is that? That's 95
It's a rum.
proof.
This is 46%.
46. Yeah, I say so.
Yeah.
It's 95 proof.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess I'm not sure, but
It'll say
Yeah,
right
it's,
on there if it's
spiced rum.
46%.
yeah,
Nice. So this is 45.2%.
smells so good.
My Woodford Reserve. All right.
Oh, nice.
So before we jump in, spirits and spirits. Mmm. Oh yeah.
You gotta say,
Oh, Bush's
brother.
apples. Nice. Brother. Okay. So you had mentioned how even though you are deaf, you can still potentially hear
Huh?
Ghosts, right?
Huh? Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. I used to think I was like handicapped mentally. Now, I'm not trying to be funny or anything, but I literally used to think there was something wrong with my brain until I was able to start capturing this, on evidence.
Yeah.
So, question: you put earbuds in, so you don't have your hearing aids right now?
I do. I have one
You
right
do.
here. Yeah,
So,
the only one that
does
works.
that interfere with each other?
Kind of. Not with the earpods. It depends. Sometimes the magnets will reset. Like these are cheapies. These are not like prescriptions. So you have to be really careful how you use like earmuffs and stuff. So when I take them out on investigations, it's funny when we do SDs because I'll only say stuff that I actually hear, and then I'll miss some stuff. That's why I always like to have
Bush
a
Light.
mic running, near me. That way, I go back. It's like, oh, that's what that said.
John Covey, what's up, buddy?
But the in the ears, I can wear those sometimes, and if they don't, like mess with it, it actually noise cancels and there's no contamination. Pretty cool.
Well, what I'm getting at
that's good.
is, so I think there's this consensus that there is this veil, right? And that the dead or spirits are on the other side of this veil, right? And excuse me, to simplify a little bit more, by veil, we basically mean a layer, like a dimensional layer between us, right? Like a fabric between us. And in some cases, there are locations where they believe that fabric to be thinner than normal, meaning you can see more, you can experience more through it, right? And then psychics, they'll claim that they can talk to the other side of the veil or see the other side of the veil, right? And now basically what you're saying is, even though you're deaf, you can still hear things from the other side of that fabric. So what I'm alluding to is, if ghosts, spirits, are in fact on this other side of this veil, right?
Right.
And they if they're like, for example, like a haunted location, that would mean that they're stuck there, right?
Right.
That they something has happened, traumatic event, something they don't want to leave, they can't leave. Sometimes they say they don't know that they're dead, right? So if there's that veil, how do they interact with us? Did you understand what I'm saying? Like, if there
Yeah, I
is
wonder if
that,
they see us like how we see them. They hear stuff and they're like,
right.
"What the fuck?" That's how
Well,
I
and
would be, bro. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to
yeah,
you.
and then like, because I bring that up because then you get things like possession, which, if the veil is a real thing, should not ever be able to happen.
Right.
It physically, scientifically, spiritually shouldn't be able to happen, even if there is a
Right.
veil, because they would always
But
be on the other side of that veil.
but that's where you have the portals that allow them to go back and forth through the
So
veil.
you think spirits go back and forth through portals? Because if you're in a haunted place, which is where you pick up a possession, that doesn't necessarily mean there's a portal there. And if there's not a portal there, how the hell did you get possessed?
Right. That's the thing too. Like I don't discredit the dark side of the paranormal field that what we're talking about,
No.
because
Yeah.
I've had some weird stuff happen, but I choose to stay away from that. But I guess, I mean, that's the thing. Like, where's it coming from? That's another thing I ask myself all the time. Is it only affecting people that don't know how to ground themselves and protect themselves, properly?
Yeah.
And they go in. It's to me, it comes down to intentions too, just like in
Yeah.
interaction, with people in the real life. It's all about
Yeah.
your intentions, how the interaction goes. I don't know. I've seen people create their own paranormal activity too. That's the craziest thing. And like,
Yep.
people are
Right.
poltergeists, believe it or not.
Yes.
They can actually do it.
Well, and
Weird.
that's what we were talking before
What's
about.
going
You
on,
do the
Lee?
story so many times at a location that you actually create that poltergeist. You create those spirits being
Right.
there.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
Derek, definitely.
Yes.
Dave, what up?
Dave.
Hi, Marcy.
You don't have the right ear, but you're telling me. Lee, what up, dude? Marcy. So that brings up something else entirely, right? So if we're able to manifest and we're creating, we're poltergeisting, we're doing these things based off of our own intentions, that's not on the other side of the veil.
No.
Right.
So make sense.
I don't know. Like, that's why I like doing this. Like, finding the answers is like, I don't think we're ever gonna have the definitive proof, but like, to me, it's, I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
that's why I preach go in with an open mind. Don't go in thinking, that's why I hate knowing the history when I go to these locations, because your mind is a very powerful thing. You can make stuff happen.
Yeah.
We're
See, but
energy, you know.
I'll play the devil's advocate here, and say, by not knowing, what you're doing then is fantasizing, right?
Yeah, no, I can
You
agree
are
with that.
creating.
Yeah, you are
So
creating it.
you could be doing virtually as much, if not more, damage by not knowing versus knowing,
people do it all the time,
right?
I mean,
So I'm just saying, like,
that is true.
there is a counterpoint. So I
Know a little
usually
bit, but don't
recommend,
know too much.
yeah, or I recommend at least one of your party members be fluent with what is
what's
truly
going
going on at that location. You know what I mean? It doesn't
agree.
mean everybody does, because that way, if you do pick up on something, they could say, well, funny enough, or they could say, no, I think you're kind of getting off in the wrong direction. Let's not dig ourselves our own little rabbit hole right here, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, there's always
Because
somebody
I've seen that happen.
knows. Yeah, dude, and it's scary. I've seen people create their own darker energies, like egregores and stuff like that. Because you tell this
Yeah.
one story in an area that has so much energy already, it's a paranormal location, and you keep saying, oh, let's just say a crawler. People, keep putting that energy to the atmosphere. Somehow, some way, it manifests, and people start seeing this being. But then you have somebody that doesn't, truly know the story and doesn't believe it. They don't see it. So I don't know, dude. It's so weird. But that's what's so like fueling about it. I
Yeah.
love it. Not knowing, the unknown.
What up, Cynthia? Well, and Joe, you're right. The human mind is still unknown, and
Very much so.
this is the other thing too is, if there is that veil, so that would assume by saying that there's this veil and there are ghosts on the other side of this veil and they're stuck in this location, it would also mean that they live in a bubble, right? That the veil isn't just a sheet that goes one way, it's all encompassing, right? Because it's closed them off to be able to go to different locations or to do whatever else that they might need to do, transition, for example. So when we go there and then we ask them, hey, will you interact with all these things? One, how are they going to see them? Two, how are they going to know how to interact with them? And then people will say, well, here, you could borrow my energy. If it can figure out how to borrow energy, don't you think it would have figured out how to leave?
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, don't you think they would have figured out how to move on at that point? Or to do more complicated things? If it could take and harness energy, right?
Well, that's what I tell myself all the time, too. It's like, you're sitting in a location that they have energy at this point. It's just like, come on, throw something, not like aggressively. Just if I was a spirit and I knew I could make this little group run, you best believe I'm going to slam a door or something, But
yes. But I mean, I'm saying the act of being able to I guess absorb someone else's energy through this veil, that's so complicated that if they could figure that out, you would think that they would be able to figure out how to do so much more than turn a light on and off, maybe, right?
Yeah,
Like,
or they know too much already. That for an instance, this last investigation I did, we went down to.
It's possible.
Well, we went down to my buddy Brandon's place in Perryville, and we were talking about doing Estes method, and the spirit. It's actually on my last edit, where the spirit starts interacting with us, talking about it like it wanted us to do this. But then I asked Brandon, like, do you guys even do Estes here? And he's like, no. It's like, how the heck does the spirit from the Civil War know what Estes method is? That it's crazy. Right. It's crazy. Sometimes they know stuff, and it's just like, I don't know, bro. When you jump down the rabbit hole, it gets very confusing. But that's the fun of it.
So just kind of look at the other side of it. So with the living, when you walk into a room, most people can feel when there's anger, frustration, or just the tenseness in a room.
Right.
So that's the energy. And even though you come in there new, you don't know what's going on, you still feel it. And I think that's the same thing that happens on the other side. So they're feeling it, but they can't maybe move something because it is tangible energy, but how can they manipulate it?
Right.
We can't manipulate the energy when we walk into the room other than being happy,
right?
And projecting our own energy. So how can you, those are the questions that you do whenever you're investigating.
Right. And I've used EM pumps, and I mean, to the point to where I've been sick, and we've had some pretty incredible results. But never once have I had, something crazy like some of these shows you see out there or YouTube channels where they capture, something being thrown or something, like crazy happening. I've captured voices. Yeah. I captured, sensations, maybe being touched, stuff like that. But
well, it also kind of alludes to what you had mentioned. How does somebody from the Civil War know what Estes is, right? Right. And how do they harness energy? How do they sense a mood? Well, what if, because let's be real, we don't know, right?
Right.
What if on the other side of that veil, what if it's just all alien?
That's another theory too.
What if it's all alien and they're just
aliens? I want them to keep it spooky because I'm believing I'm talking to a ghost. Like,
right. Well, and what if they're bored? What if they realize that's how they can interact? What if they know everything that we're talking about, everything that we're doing, but their ability to manipulate is limited, but they like to have fun.
It's like hopping on a trucker radio at that point,
Hey, Virgil.
Hopping on a trucker radio or something,
What up, Ron? Yeah, it's it's just one of those things where it's hard to know, right? And the only way to know is to end. Yeah. At which point, and even then, we are all basing it on an assumption, a belief, not
Yeah.
knowledge, a belief
Belief
that there is something after, right?
Mm-hmm.
We believe that there's something after, but we don't
And that's
know.
what's so crazy
right?
about it. Like I've been to, some pretty active locations, and it's like I capture this crazy stuff, but I always ask myself at the end of the day, it's just like, but is this actual definitive proof? And that's
Right.
I don't know. It sounds frustrating, but then again, that also kind of lights the fire. It's just like I want more answers.
Yeah. And then
That's why you get addicted to it and keep going,
Yep.
keep and back and forth and just keep on.
Yep.
Annie?
Because I
Well,
always say,
and
no
then
matter
here's
what,
the
we're
other
never
thing.
going to know until we're there. So,
Yeah. And that brings.
So then that goes to the fact of the people who have passed but have come back.
right.
You have your near-death experiences.
Deja vu.
So
But-
I've actually experienced that myself.
Yep.
But
I've
my response to that is time is not linear, meaning you could
Right.
experience hours in a matter of fractions of seconds. So
Yep.
most of the memories that you might have from being dead might actually be from when you were dying, not actually dead.
Yeah.
And so when
Right.
you come back, that would be the first thing that you would remember would be those fleeting dreams that you had as you were passing, because it would be at that point no different than a dream.
So then adding on to that, so what if you're floating above and you're looking at your body? You're already done. You're out of body at that point. So you're dead.
Well, that's not
And then
entirely
they bring
true,
you back.
because you can have out-of-body experiences while still being alive.
That's true. You can astral travel.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I've heard of that too.
Yeah, so that is definitely that's where things get very funny, Virgil. But right, Derek, ghosts and aliens, ghostians. I mean, we don't know, and if you could do that stuff while alive, it still doesn't give you anything definitive in death, right? So that's just all I'm saying is, I mean, Ron is in here. Ron died multiple times, and we've talked to him, and he has his own things that happened to him that he saw. Problem is it's that whole time is not linear. So
Right.
it's hard to understand exactly what happens after death. I mean, people can come back and they're like, yeah, I had these stories. And if you listen to the stories, a lot of it is either A, based off of their belief system, right?
Right.
Or B, that doesn't match with anything else. No one story seems to be the same. I saw a white light, or I saw the fiery steps of hell, or I saw this winged creature with eyes, or I saw a giant ghostly
You went to
slender
hell,
man who
buddy.
came to take me away. Right. I saw Winnie the Pooh when he was wearing a giant dildo on his head. Like, everything is different,
Oh yeah.
right? So that's
Please tell me
That's
Piglet
true,
was not
right?
harmed.
Bigfoot was not harmed in the making of this show.
right. And then
Till you give Mike
you
a
have Bigfoot.
stick.
Right, till you
Right.
stick. But
Well, he just gets sticks, not he actually a Lincoln log.
right.
Yeah.
But that's another great point.
And yes,
Bigfoot.
I've also traveled.
I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me.
Yes, poor Winnie.
Pope. Excuse me. Okay, so but that's another great point, right? Like the Sasquatch, the Fae, because those, and I definitely believe that they do exist, and I do believe, like with MaryLynn, that there is a dimensional. They have some type of way of dimensionally traveling, right? So,
Mhm.
so that being the case, is where they're traveling to just the other side of this veil, meaning that they're there interacting with all of our ghosts? Or are they going somewhere beyond and they have a veil of their own?
That's the
Yeah.
eternal question, and that's what we're trying to find out. Are they even going to other planets? Are they going to other galaxies,
Right?
other dimensions?
Yeah.
That's pretty wild. Well,
And it's like, to
and
me, I know how
dude,
energy can not be destroyed, but then again, it's like, how does this energy get trapped so vividly that you have this residual activity happen, and you see a literally a replay of the past? That's another thing that trips me out. It's just like, how, I shouldn't drink that, but
woo!
yeah, it's crazy. Like, but then again, like my first interaction with an apparition was an intelligent one. Like we acknowledged each other, and it's crazy. I
Well,
don't know.
and
I don't know.
so Derek brings up portals. For example, like Bigfoot, fairies, they come here and they do whatever they're going to do. What if they're actually? What if they never
Tinkerbell.
meant to? What if they never meant to come here?
Sure.
What if it's literally just a mischance, like on a dice?
It took a detour,
right? Like a
Yeah,
percentile.
It took a detour. Yeah.
Like they were rolling percentile and they got a 1 out of 100, and they wind up here, and they're only here
But
briefly.
if they get here,
I think they can go back, right?
that was going to be my question. Is like, if they get here accidentally, how do they go back? If it's an accidental
Well, I mean, you can still
transfer.
activate it. It's just at some point, something between point A, point B, you divert
Pull out
it.
a wand,
So
Guardian
you do is
Leviosa.
You just reactivate
Right.
it. Basically, you hit the recall button, and you get to go back to where you started.
What up, Josh?
Well, I don't know. Josh and the what up, buddy? Oh, you got to go? Fine, get out of here. Fucking loser.
You just popped in to say hi.
Yeah.
It's dedication right
That
there.
Josh,
Now.
that Josh D is a fucking loser. You nerd. He's gonna be like, the hell did I do? We actually just we've been doing me and Josh, we've been doing reaction videos together. We did the
Hey, it's
full
my mom.
reaction video. Hey, what up, Karen?
Karen.
Everything happening at the same time, past, present, and future. Now, that's also a very big possibility, but if that is the case, how is the past and the present hidden? Why is it hidden? Right? Wouldn't it be something that we would be able to experience or reach for in the now, even though it was then or then? Why is it hidden behind a veil?
Mm-hmm.
Deep questions.
Yeah.
I told you we were going to get deep today.
I'm
This
just
is stuff that I've been.
ghost, bro. Like,
I know. I know.
Yeah, and that's something I don't know anybody that can explain that. You know,
Right. It's these are, and again, folks, these are just questions from a normal mind. I'm not, like Ricky. You live and breathe this stuff. MaryLynn, she's a psychic extraordinaire. I've seen it with my own eyes firsthand. So I know that there's no, yeah, he
was
is
on the phone with Ricky.
yeah. So so I know that there is definitely something credible there. It's just I don't have all the answers, and I don't think anyone does. So I think if anybody says they're an expert,
all the time, man.
If there's an expert, I say expert in what?
Everybody's stories.
Yeah,
it's all it is.
That's
and there's so many people that label themselves that, and I laugh every time. It's not like I'm trying to be an asshole to anybody, but it's like, how do you claim to be an expert on something that there's no definitive proof, nor there's a knowledge database to an extent you can show people. That's like skeptics ask me all the time. It's like, prove to me ghosts are real. I can't. You have to have that life-changing experience yourself, but I can show you what I have gathered through this field and show you what I think this possibly is. But at the end of the day, it is what you make it in a way,
Right.
And that's, again, your interpretation of it is like how you see it. It's like, even when we're investigating, I may hear someone say a name, but you hear them say something else. So it's how it's interpreted and how we hear and what's going on, and even what we see. You can see somebody that's really big, and I can see them just as a shadow.
Yeah, and
Everybody's
Virgil
different.
brings
They
up
see
a
it in
great
the
point.
perception.
The block universe theory. It's very
Yep.
quite possible. And I will tell you this: as a kid, when I was in elementary school, I had even asked my teachers and my mother, why can I see through my eyes and experience everything through my eyes, but I can't through yours?
Yeah.
And my question was really, does that mean you're less important than me?
No.
Right? Because as far as I'm concerned, I'm the star of my own show in this universe. So does that mean you're less important? Or does that mean that you're experiencing the same thing I'm experiencing, and you think you're the star of your own show, and we all think we're the stars? Could you be experiencing exactly what I see?
Well, and that's the individualities.
Yeah.
We are who we are,
Yeah.
and we don't. That's why we're separate. We're not all connected. We're not the Borg.
But what I'm saying is, what if we are? Or what if because I can only see, I can see my hands, I see everything first person, right? And I'm experiencing my own life, I'm going through my own life, and at some point I have to deal with my own mortality. You guys don't, right? And Ricky, if you were to up and die right here on this live stream, I would go, oh, right? Because I can't fathom and understand its true effect, its true depth,
Right.
because it's not me. I'm not seeing it. I'm not experiencing it. It's not my mind. It's not my spirit.
Hi, my name's
It's not
Mike.
my feelings.
And death sucks.
Right. Death sucks. Exactly. So it makes you wonder if, and that's where like that whole simulation theory comes in.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And if there is such a thing as a simulation theory, is the veil that we're talking to, experiencing, are those just like scientists?
Never know.
That are like, oh, this guy's figured out a way to use this REM pod, or figured out a way to thin the veil here. Let's mess with them, or let's see if we can interact. I don't know, man. It's crazy.
When you go to heaven, and you're standing in front of a whole thing
What up,
of
Jamie?
scientists, I'm gonna give him the fucking bird. I'm gonna be like, I'm leaving. Deuces.
Jamie Lynn, how are you feeling?
I'm gonna stream Jumanji and end the game.
Yes.
Yes. Well, just kind of think of like an ant farm where you see them in the glass and they're all running around, and then you introduce another group of ants and then they start fighting, but we're watching that happen. So that's the universe watching us do all of our stuff here on Earth, looking through the veil, watching us do that.
But then what is the
universe? That's a good perception of it. I would never thought of that. Looking at it like an air farm.
That's how I see it.
Wow.
So what if they were aliens?
And I think everybody is alien.
Yeah. So would that be an alien ant farm?
Yeah, dude.
It would be.
Let's go back. Henny, are you okay?
Yeah. But and Bonnie, you're absolutely right. We all experience things differently. Jamie Lynn, I hope you're doing great. She just had some surgery. And maybe when children see and hear things when young, are they closer to the veil than us?
I know
maybe,
I was.
or maybe it's not like, and that's the thing. Maybe it's not even that it's a veil. Maybe they're just less removed from eternity.
Well, and their minds are open because they don't have all the experience of the day-to-day stuff that's happening. And then also their parents' beliefs that, and everybody putting their thoughts on them seeing TV. So it's something that their mind is just open. And that's why they can see and they can hear. But the moment that someone gets scared, is like, oh, you're seeing, you're not supposed to be doing that. Then they shut it down.
Right.
It's like, do you communicate? Do you keep talking about it? No, you internalize it. And then that makes it to where they become introverts.
Right.
And because they're afraid other people are going to make fun of them, or they're not supposed to do that.
That was kind of like me too. Like, it scared me. And then I just thought, I made the mistake of telling my doctors that I was hearing and seeing things that weren't there. And then they thought I was crazy. And I was just like, you know what? I'm never talking about this again.
And that's my thought, is the insane asylums, years ago, because they didn't have all the psychic stuff. all the people who were hearing voices talking to them, they just put them in the asylum. It's like assuming that there's something wrong with them.
Yep.
That's very true. And maybe, and let's take something like autism. What if autism has become more relevant because we've made more advances to close that gap between us and this cosmic fabric?
To me,
Right?
I look at
Whatever's on
autistic
the other
people,
side,
they have
and
abilities, man. Like,
well, that's what I'm
they're the
saying. So
most
what if they're
intelligent.
the
More
ones?
intelligent than us, you know?
What
Like,
if those are the ones that have kind of dipped their toes in there a little bit,
Yeah.
got a little too close,
Agree.
right? Because that's what's happening,
Yeah.
right? As technology grows, as we think differently, we're slowly
Our
closing
brains are
that gap.
rewired.
Yeah. So that's it. And my thoughts on heaven, like if we die and there is a heaven, I just feel like heaven would not be a place like that anybody would really want to visit, because I feel like it would be. It's known as the Silver City. That is its colloquial name. It sounds like that. That sounds awful. It sounds very busy. There's got to be billions upon billions upon billions of people there. It would take forever to take the bus, right?
Yeah.
But there's no meat suits there. It's just the soul. It's the energy. So you're not going to have the physical body
And
there.
what if we all hated Uncle Al, right? But Uncle Al, though he was an annoying piece of shit, he was still good enough to get into heaven. So now I'm stuck with Uncle Al for eternity. Because he keeps coming around. I don't want to see Uncle Al. You know what I mean? So how do we? So if heaven is a thing and it's supposed to be perfect and exactly how you like it, could that?
Like the movie What Dreams May Come?
Kind of if exactly what I want is to be alone, and then exactly what Ricky wants is to hang out with Dormammu Twinkle Toes all day. So who wins? Who wins that? Do we have to?
Me.
Well, you're in control of your own, so that's where you believe.
What's that?
So if it's something that it's what you make it. So if you want to be alone, you're going to be alone.
But what if he
Ricky
wants to be with me?
He wants to be with the energy that you are now. When you're there, when you've moved on, you're a totally different. You're the energy. It's hard to explain, but you get what you want, and he gets what he wants.
Doesn't that just make you? Yeah. So is he? So he's not actually with me. He's with a program of me.
Pretty much, the Matrix.
See, that's crazy, man. When you think about it, huh? Take a cab.
Yeah. So you can,
right.
Take a cab.
These are just Ricky. So what you got? Something big coming up. What's coming up? Are you moving or something?
Yeah, I'm not going to say where, but
that's fine.
I mean, what do you want me to talk about?
Yeah, that's true. BO. If you have BO in life, do you have it in the afterlife? I mean,
God dang, that's why you got this right here.
Mm-hmm.
You might smell yourself, but maybe nobody else smells you because they don't want
to. So you're going to do this big move, right?
Yep.
So what are your plans? Paranormal wise.
Are we allowed to talk about it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I'm gonna be filming this guy that lets eat snacks a lot. That's what I heard.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're very excited to have you come down here, and now that you'll be a little bit closer to us, I will say that. We've got a lot of cool projects coming up, and Ricky's been kind enough to lend both his camera and his butthole. So we're very excited.
That thing is cemented shut.
I would see a doctor about that, sir. But yeah, I'm really excited to have you come down, and that's just a matter of weeks.
Yeah, soon. So now the cat's out of the bag. So yeah,
it's unfortunate because We really don't want you here. No, I'm kidding. It's unfortunate because you're actually coming a little late. We could have used you earlier because we're doing this thing called Gold Rush. We got Larry Eisler. He's going to come down and help us out. He's amazing, by the way. Love Larry. Micah like a Larry a lot.
Yeah.
So it'll be great to work with him. And then, but we'll probably get you. We've got some great stuff, some big stuff coming up, and we'll talk a little bit more about that off the air and kind of get you up to speed, which is going to be great. Oh, see Annie.
Top secret.
Yeah, but that's gonna be pretty awesome. MaryLynn.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So we may need to get him. We may need to get him to sign some
Yes.
NDAs.
Yes.
Sign my life away.
Yeah. So MaryLynn, you
No use in the butthole though. Just saying.
No to the butthole.
We'll mark through that clause that he put in there.
Yes. So you just did some readings while you were down here in Vegas, right?
Yes.
How did those go? You feel good about them?
Oh yeah, I felt really good about them. It was pretty much connected with them. And then what was funny is I had one lady wanting it, but her entourage was with her, and is like they're sitting right next to it. And it's like I'm just getting everybody's energy, and they started to move away. And I was like, let's just do this. Y'all are going to get readings too. Let's just do a group reading, and it turned out to be the best thing.
Yeah. See that, and that's good. That worked out pretty good. It's funny because we were watching, and we saw the lady come over, and she brought like 4 other people with her, and she was like, "Is she gonna like read the whole posse?" I was like, "I don't think so." But then I was like, "No, yeah, I think she is."
After that, I bet that was rough.
I did.
Right? That's a lot of people to take on. Ask Bonnie Blue; she'll know.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is because as I'm doing the readings, it was like just one after another in that group. It's like, one was closed off, not wanting to open, and he actually sat back and said, "Don't read me." And I'm like, okay. So I was just reading the other 3. And then after I started hitting on points, he jumped forward and said, "Do me." I was like, okay.
I hope.
So it was funny. So he joined
Hopefully,
in.
you called your husband first to ask permission before you just did it.
No, I got permission from his wife that was sitting there.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
Do me.
Do me. I've got so a lot of stuff on the board right now in July. So please,
I'm really
guys,
excited about July.
Come see us. We'll be at Paranormal Rock Down. That is on the 18th and the 19th, I believe. So definitely come down, see us then. Also, there is.
And you're doing your comedy, your stand-up comedy.
Yeah, so I will actually be doing stand-up comedy there for 30 minutes to an hour. I'm not entirely sure how long, but however long. However long people stay entertained, I suppose. After that, we've got Gettysburg.
Well, before you move on, I'm also doing the intuitive paint pouring, and so that way I can do paintings for people who are going to be there.
So which is super awesome. You can do an intuitive painting by MaryLynn. So why don't you explain what that is to the audience, people that are kind of new to that?
Okay. So what it is acrylic paints that I put. So I will do certain mixtures on it, and then I take the canvas, and I'm using spinner boards and just different things, and I'm pouring the paint on there, and it's like I can't control where it goes, or it's minimal control on that. So what I do is I'll have people tell me, give me 3 or 4 colors that you like, and then I'll take those colors and sometimes add what I feel like needs to be added to it, and then I will just put it on the canvas, spin it, and as I'm concentrating, say, Ricky, I'm doing it for you, I'm concentrating on you, pouring, and things come out. It tells you kind of little stories.
Almost like a little
lot of times I've seen animals.
In a way. That's
pretty
awesome.
much. Yeah. So it turns out pretty good. And the only thing is that it has to sit for a day
Yeah,
so that
yeah.
it dries. So I'll have canvases lined up. In my garage, I probably have 300 that are in this in storage right now. It's like just because I was having
Nice.
fun with it. But it's definitely
But it's where you
something
put your
to check out.
put like your psychic energy based off of
Yep.
them into that painting.
Yes.
So that
Because I am connecting with them psychically.
exactly. Now that's very different than docking. You can ask Ricky about docking. So
No.
this is
No. I don't do that. No. The only thing you're going to see me dock is a boat if we're out on the water.
Fair. So I've got a couple of paintings and they're amazing. So I definitely recommend you guys bring your life savings for this. Okay. The twinkles that have cream. Maybe
I make it very affordable.
Maybe.
I hope somebody has the balls to wear a Pepsi shirt because the thing you did that
Right.
for it. Pepsi.
Also, a quick shout out. We've got Eric Vanderland in here. He's got War Party Paranormal. Check out his podcast, and they've got a great show, The Haunted Files, on Paraflix or Paraflix Plus, I think it's called now. I don't quite remember. So check that out. He just has a couple of new episodes, and we will be in I think when their new season is launched.
Yep, season 1. I think episode 1.
Yeah, season.
Because I think we were
season 4 or 5, episode 1. So
Season
take
4,
a look at that. Also, we've got Francesca Garcia in here, and she's got a great show called Supernatural Eye. And there's some pretty cool announcements coming for that as well. After that, yeah, absolutely. After that, you've got Gettysburg. Gettysburg is the 25th, 26th, 27th, I think. Things are a little up in the air for us right now when it comes to Gettysburg. It's a little chaotic. So hopefully things go well, and we're able to kind of make things happen the way we want to in Gettysburg. So hopefully we do. She does take checks.
Yes, Karen.
She does take checks. Just remember, it's going to be everything you have in your account. Okay. Very expensive
Trying to rob
do
my
this.
mom.
I see.
Actually, no. I think it's a great question. What would you be charging, Miss MaryLynn Bast?
Well, it really depends on the canvas and how much paint, because if they only want like 2 to 3 or 4 colors, but then there's some who want 10, 12, 15 different colors. Again, it depends on the canvas.
The
And,
canvas
I'll put
size.
those prices
Okay, yeah.
together. Yeah, because you can do just like a little 4x4, and that would be something that's really small. And then because I've done tiles and things like that. And then I've done it to where it's 24 by 24, 48 by
But
48.
you're not going to be
Those are
bringing all
huge.
those types of canvas with you, are you?
I'm probably going. I'm not bringing them with me. I'm going to go and buy some while I'm there.
Deal,
So
Haley.
that way I don't have to ship.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
27 cents.
we'll see. We'll see what. Yeah, checks as far as in the UK, in the
Yep.
UK. So yeah, we plan on. You plan on having at least a few different options as far as canvas size.
Yeah, so it's usually like 8 by 10.
And
10
how many
by,
different colors
11,
do you
10
think?
by
How many
12.
different colors do you think you'll have?
I will have quite a bit because I like to have a big
Like,
selection.
what are we talking, like 32?
Usually 24 to probably 32, 48. Just depends on what I can
Okay, so
fit in the
somewhere
box.
between 20 to 40 colors.
Yep.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Hard to
Yeah.
call you racist with that
And
many
then,
colors.
That's waiting
So-
for it, and he said it.
So that's great. That's going to be awesome, guys. With that, Ricky, you've got your own paranormal thing that you're doing.
Yeah.
That you've been really. Why don't you talk about that really quick?
With Paranormal Encounters, is that what we're talking about?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so that's just a kind of like a side project when I have time to do stuff in the paranormal field. Started out back in 2013 as a blog talk radio. That was an idea for me to just like talk about ghost stories. It's kind of like what we're doing now. That's how it originally
Yeah.
started, and then as time went on, I just got a video camera in my hand, and it's just like people are like, you should really take a dive into videography, and then fast forward to now. So it's basically it's in the raw. It's not your typical like what you see on
Yeah.
Discovery Channel, investigating stuff. It's whatever that wherever I go that day or that evening and what it gives me.
Nice.
The real. Yep.
That's cool.
I don't run
Well,
around and like
So the daily life of an
pretty much,
investigator.
yeah. A lot of little shenanigans, especially when you get me, Matt, and Brittany together. We love to scare Brittany, poor Brittany.
yeah. And Brittany
Oh
loves to
boy.
scare her family. She scares her husband,
Oh
her
yeah.
kids all the time.
Oh yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
have to admit, I am so excited to finally get a chance to meet Brittany. I haven't had a chance yet. I've never met Brittany, but we communicate pretty often. We definitely
Brittany
are.
Ferguson?
No, Turd Ferguson. Oh, I thought you meant Brittany Bickett.
No, I know who she is though. She's awesome.
Oh, yeah, that's who I was talking about because she scares her family all
The
the time.
one,
Brittany Ferguson,
we'll
I've
call
not
her
met
my
yet.
Brittany. Yeah, yeah, you
Okay.
did. She was at
Did I?
Rockville. Yeah, her and Matt.
Oh, that's
When you were
right.
under-
Yes, that's right. Yeah, I did get to
Yeah.
meet them. Yeah, they were
Yeah.
cool people, man.
Yeah.
And Jamie Lynn is reminding us, don't forget my gallery readings at
That's
the
right.
Rockdown.
Gallery reading at the Rockdown. If you have loved ones that you'd like to make a connection with, this is the place. This is the time to do it. I don't know if there's an extra cost to that. I'm going to assume there probably is a little something. Again, after you've given all of your money to MaryLynn for the painting, go out, borrow money, and then come back for the gallery reading, okay? Very important.
Or go work the corner, bro. Sometimes, or
Work that.
sell.
You
Hey,
got
you
the
can sell
pole.
feet pics from what I'm hearing.
Mhm. I've been selling puddings.
I thought you were selling something else. I was like, poor cat.
Yeah, no, but I've been doing it on OnlyFlans.
Only flans.
Yeah, it's not going well. All right, guys. Well, with that will be our show. We'll wrap it up here. Why don't you go ahead and play us out?